We are looking at the process of extraction of iron from its ore known as hematite. The materials used in this process of extraction of iron are iron ore known as hematite. We have limestone. Limestone is chemically known as calcium carbonate. We have coke. Coke mainly contains carbon. And limestone, its work is to remove the impurities from the ore. Then coke is going to form carbon monoxide, which is a reducing agent which is going to be used to reduce the ore so that we can form our desired metal. The process of extraction of iron has the blast furnace as the vessel. When you look at the blast furnace, it looks like an inverted cone with the two major inlets, the one at the bottom side and another one at the top side. The one at the top side is used to feed in iron ore, coke and limestone, but that one at the bottom side you are seeing is used to allow hot air in. And the major chemical processes involved in this process of extraction of iron, we have the oxidation of carbon to carbon dioxide, we have the reduction of carbon dioxide to carbon monoxide, and again we have the reduction of iron free oxide to iron, our desired metal. And the physical element in this process of extraction of iron we have is heat. The process of extraction of iron requires some prior knowledge on redox reactions. That's why we started by learning about redox reactions. We are preparing you for this concept, just like even other industrial processes like extraction of aluminium. We shall look at the concept of electrolysis during purification, and the process of extraction of copper, also electrolysis during purification, and the process of production of sodium hydroxide, electrolysis also as the concept in it. Then process of production of chlorine also uses the concept of electrolysis. We can have a brief snippet on redox reactions. So basically this word redox comes from the two words reduction and oxidation. So in a redox reaction, reduction and oxidation processes go on at the same time, or they go on or they proceed concurrently at the same time. And reduction is the removal of oxygen from a chemical substance, or reduction is the addition of an electron or electrons to a chemical substance, or reduction is the addition of hydrogen to a chemical substance. And then oxidation is the addition of oxygen to a chemical substance, or oxidation is the removal of hydrogen from a chemical substance, or oxidation is the removal of electrons from a chemical substance. So let us go back now. So now this process of extraction of iron begins with the feeding of the blast furnace with coke, iron ore and limestone from the top end of the blast furnace. Then at the bottom end of the blast furnace is where we're going to pump our hot air. The hot air is going to come in with oxygen and too much heat. So due to the high temperatures at the bottom end of the blast furnace of about 1600 degrees Celsius, the oxygen that came with hot air is going to combine with the carbon in coke such that we can form carbon dioxide gas. As it proceeds upwards, carbon dioxide is going to combine with the carbon and it's going to be a reduction reaction. So carbon dioxide is going to be reduced by carbon such that we can form carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide formed is going to work as our reducing agent, which is going to be used to reduce our ore, hematite, such that we can form our desired metal, iron. So still under the same conditions of high temperatures, carbon monoxide is going to reduce iron free oxide in the iron ore, form iron and carbon dioxide gas as the byproduct. So at the same time, due to the high temperatures in the blast furnace, calcium carbonate in limestone is going to undergo decomposition to form calcium oxide. This calcium oxide form is going to combine or react with the silicon dioxide impurities in the ore to form slag. This slag will go to the bottom end of the blast furnace and will just float just above the molten iron. And this iron formed is known as an impure form of iron or pig iron, and it can only be purified by passing air through the molten iron, so that you can oxidize all the non-metal impurities in it and get rid of them. For the side effects or the dangers of the process of extraction of iron, when you look at our process of extraction, we have gaseous pollutants like carbon dioxide gas. Then we have a poisonous gas somewhere, it is carbon monoxide gas. Then we have physical conditions like high temperatures or heat in the blast furnace. Now, when you look at carbon dioxide gas, once it is released along with industrial fumes in the atmosphere, and when it reaches there, the atmosphere, it's going to form an insulating layer in the atmosphere. Being a greenhouse gas, it's going to form an insulating layer. This insulating layer is going to trap heat within the Earth's atmosphere, and as well as leading to general rise in the Earth's temperature. This is the greenhouse effect, and this is what we call global warming. And how can we mitigate that? So we can find ways of reducing the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. For example, we can plant the fast growing trees. Once planted, these trees are going to absorb much of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, taking back oxygen. These trees are working as or operate as air purifiers. They are going to absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, lowering its concentration in the atmosphere. And for poisonous gases like carbon monoxide, in case the workers are not wearing personal protective equipment like the masks, gas masks, chance of these workers inhaling this gas, carbon monoxide, is very high. And once inhaled, these workers can get respiratory poisoning problems. So, and how best can we mitigate this? We can advise these workers to wear personal protective equipment like gas masks. And some of the social benefits of these iron extracting plants, or how the society or the country is going to benefit from having these iron extracting plants. We can have these plants being sources of government revenue. Remember, taxes can be imposed or levied. Once taxes are collected by the government, remember, they can be used to provide better social services to the citizens, such as construction of schools, construction of transport routes, those are roads, bridges and other infrastructure, and even hospitals can be constructed using that very money collected. Then these industries are sources of employment opportunities to the locals. For example, industrial chemists can be employed in these industries, and of course they will get paid. Once they get that income can help them elevate their standards of living. And these industries also provide ready market for goods from other industries. For example, the extraction or extracting industries. So industries that extract limestone and coke, definitely they will take or sell their materials to these industries which are going to be processing iron.